Hello and welcome back to another trip report. This is the first video on this channel where we're taking a red-eye flight. It will be the Bozeman, Yellowstone to Atlanta route on board Delta Airlines using an A321. Let's do this.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
If you don't know what a red-eye flight is, it's usually an overnight flight that departs late at night and arrives somewhat early in the morning. They tend to be around 3 to 6 hours long, which normally doesn't give passengers a full night's sleep. It gives them the name red-eye flight. Today we'll be taking one of those unusual trips, Delta Airlines DL1512 from here in Bozeman to Atlanta, Georgia. It'll be a little over 3 hours long, but we'll be crossing 2 time zones eastbound, which allows us to leave at 11:45 p.m. and land at around 5 a.m. The time zone changes allow many USA domestic eastbound routes like this to offer red-eye flights. As you can see, we are in the passenger terminal of Bozeman Yellowstone International. This airport is quite interesting for various reasons. I like the Montana style a lot. It is also quite tiny. I mean literally one of the smallest airports I've seen, even smaller than Norfolk. It is comprised of a single concourse split into an A and B section from the entrance. This was definitely one of the best times to be at the airport, mostly because my flight was one of only 2 that were scheduled to depart tonight, which meant that it wasn't very busy. But not only that, there were also quite a few aircraft parked here for the rest of the night, like the ones here, making it a good time for plane spotting. Among all the other aircraft we've seen today, I spotted this Allegiant A320. This was the only aircraft other than my own that was supposed to leave Bozeman before midnight. I'm pretty sure it was headed for Las Vegas, but it wasn't a red-eye flight because it was westbound. The only passengers currently at this airport were either on this flight or mine, which you'll see here. I did not get any good shots of it, but this will be our ride to Atlanta, N332 Delta November, a 5-year-old Airbus A321, young compared to most A321s around the world, but old compared to the ones in the fleet, which are usually 1 to 3 years. Interesting fact, not long before this trip, this exact aircraft, this same A321, was involved in some sort of bird strike while leaving Denver, leading to an aborted takeoff. Luckily no one was harmed, and it looks to me like they repaired the aircraft. Hopefully. That aside, I sure am looking forward to this flight. Don't remember the last time I've taken a red-eye, so it should be interesting. Let's go.
Your bag's going flat. Aircraft, we cannot accommodate larger bags turned onto their side, so once again, please ensure your bag goes flat.
Thank you, and we will be leaving the gate momentarily. Flight attendants, prepare doors for departure, cross-check and on-call.
Important, and we're honored to be a part of it. Across the globe, and coast to coast, you'll always be greeted
The health and safety of our customers and crew.
So before we depart, please stay as
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you're seated in case of
apologize if this means our service is interrupted. Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with the posted law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying ruptures of detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane. In the event of an evacuation, we will carry on items behind.
All exits are clearly marked with a green symbol. Arrows indicate
have shifted during the flight.
Here we are at one of the world's busiest airports and Delta's largest hub. I think we can all agree that 3-hour-long red-eye flights kinda suck. Personally, as an av geek, I can't hate them, but I can't lie that they'll probably mess up your sleep schedule since you'd pretty much lose a night. Definitely not my ideal plane trip. However, Delta did manage to make this red-eye worth all the complications. From the incredible in-flight entertainment selection to the highly responsive screens, the airline has shown me that they can keep passengers entertained. Even though barely anyone used them because, well, it was a red-eye flight, I at least know that it is almost impossible to get bored on a Delta flight using this aircraft type, and I believe Delta has these on all their planes except for the regional jets and the 717. They are definitely getting a ton of extra credit for amenities. Can't forget to mention the generous legroom and decent seat padding. I kept myself awake for the first half of the flight so I could review the service, but the seats were comfortable enough for me to sleep for the rest of it. Speaking of the service, definitely wonderful. Always enjoy a Delta Biscoff cookie. Final score is 8.6 out of 10. Congratulations, Delta Airlines. You've managed to make a red-eye flight experience enjoyable for me. I'd no doubt recommend this airline, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer on the Boeing 757. Tune in for that review, which will be next.
We'll get the gate and everything's secured, then I'll turn off the seatbelts. Right now, stand your seats. Thank you.